Today, guys, on Exploration Overland, we're in the Wickenburg Mountains here in Arizona. We're gonna see what we can discover out here, so stay tuned, guys. That is correct, guys. We have been out here in Arizona the past 2 weeks, and it has been fantastic. I have been enjoying the 70-degree weather and in just the fact that it's not cold. I wake up in the morning, I'm not cold. It has been absolutely great. However, this is our second week out here, and at the end of this week, we go back to Colorado. Now, this whole week I have been wheeling. I have been wheeling with some friends, been getting out there and exploring different areas of Arizona that I have not explored yet. And today is just one of those days. We are out here. Now, in this video, we will cover the Buckhorn Road Trail. Guys, literally, it is supposedly a very easy, simple road. And I say obviously because of where I'm standing, it is evident that we have traveled a good portion of it already. Now we are off on a completely different trail. I don't have this trail marked on my maps at all. It is on the maps. I just don't have a route through it. And honestly, I tossed the drone up in the air and was seeing what it was out here and decided, hey, it doesn't look too bad. Let's go give it a shot. So that's where we are at this moment. And I've been eating lunch and relaxing, and it has been fantastic. Now, you probably can hear it in my voice. I'm allergic to everything around me, so I'm very congested and I sound kind of wheezy. So I'm not going to be talking a whole ton throughout the video, guys. You'll hear more in the voiceover because I'll be able to breathe a little better. But it is what it is. I'm having a good old time. So without further ado, guys, let's finish lunch and let's go and enjoy what I have in store for you guys. Get too carried away with where we are currently, guys. Let's go back in time just a little bit to the very start of this adventure. And our journey begins here. This is Buckhorn Road. This is just off of the Castle Hot Springs Road past Lake Pleasant. And Buckhorn Road is a very well-maintained dirt road that will run you all the way from the Castle Hot Springs out to Constellation Road to Wickenburg. And the entirety of this trail is just this flat bit. But where we saw me at the very beginning of the video is on a completely different trail that is known by several different names, one of which is the Wickenburg Mountain Trail or the Iron Springs or Corner Springs Trail. That is when it gets a little more technical. But at the beginning of our journey, Buckhorn Road is the center of our attention and is super, super scenic. Now, the Buckhorn Road does run through a lot of private property, guys. So it is mindful to be aware that the road, though you do have right of access, does cross through many, many people's private property at the very beginning of this when you are closer to the Castle Hot Springs side. And there are signs everywhere telling you that you are on their property and that they would like you to not kick up as much dust as possible. I think it's quite funny that they want no one to kick up dust, though they live in the middle of the desert on a dusty road. But do be respectful, guys, of this and be mindful of this as the trail will pass through it for a good portion of the beginning of the trail. Now, the Buckhorn Trail from Castle Hot Springs all the way out towards Wickenburg is about 14.5 miles long. And doing this in any four-wheel drive vehicle, this will actually not take you very long at all, guys, because like I said, this is just such a scenic drive and it is so well maintained. You will cruise along this trail happily at about 20 miles an hour easily. Another thing to keep in mind while you are out on these trails is that because these trails are super easy, guys, you tend to run into people that are going to be going 10 times faster than you. For instance, for me, I ran into 7 side-by-sides all going around 30 miles an hour or faster, skidding around the corners, and they did nearly hit me because they were not paying attention to their surroundings. And yes, you typically encounter this more in the desert, but being on these trails, it is a great thing to keep in mind that there are a lot of crazy people out there and they do not care about what else is around them and they're going to go flying by you. So just keep that in mind as you're cruising along on these scenic routes in Arizona. Now, this is where you can turn off Buckhorn Road and start into the Wickenburg Mountain Trail and start to take a little bit more of a challenge and get away from some of that easygoing driving. Now, if this looks familiar, don't panic. The video didn't restart. We have now caught up to the present. And going forward,
down this lovely trail, it is about to get a little more challenging and a little more technical and will require a little bit of wheel placement. Now, the Wickenburg Mountain Trail can be done in either direction. The direction I am currently going would be considered the downhill direction because all the technical stuff is in this section of the trail and you will be going down over it versus going up it. After my experience of going down this, I think you could do both directions fairly easily. There is one spot in particular, which you guys will see here in a little bit, that I would say would be the trickiest spot trying to go uphill. Otherwise, it is fun either direction that you would go. But like always, it has to start with a gate to go through. Wheeling in the desert is a very special experience because it is unlike most places within the United States, and because the greenery doesn't grow very tall, you get the ability to see for miles, and what you can see a lot of the times are some incredible views. Don't get me wrong, I love wheeling in the forest, but there is something special about when you come down to the desert, getting away from the colder weather in the winter, and just experience basically nature taking a huge breath from all the heat that it normally experiences during the summer times. You just get to enjoy it at its fullest and when it is the most lively. And being on this trail, not only have I had incredible views of mountains and washes and just those views that go on for miles and miles, but I get to experience just being back out in the desert itself. Being in the desert, for me, it's where I grew up. It's where I cut my teeth both four-wheeling and just having fun. That's where I used to go off and have my adventures during the weeks going hiking and stuff. So it holds a special place in my heart, and being gone from it for so many years, when you get these little moments to go back to it, I just fully soak it all in and have the absolute time of my life. Okay, this was the section that I said could be a little tricky if you were going up the hill. And the reason for this is this rock right here. This rock is literally in the middle of the trail, and on one side, the Jeep will not be able to truly squeeze because there is a even bigger rock off the driver's side, and off the passenger side, trying to maneuver around that rock, you just don't have enough turn radius. So what I ended up doing was I attempted to go around the rock next to the big huge boulder on the driver's side, and realized that trying to make that turn, the Jeep was going to land dead center on that rock in the middle of the trail, and I probably would have gotten a little stuck. So I decided to back it up and go around the boulder that's in the middle of the trail to minimize the Jeep getting stuck or hung up on it. But to do that, it did take a little bit of backing up and going forward, just because the turn radius to try and sneak right around that rock without dropping the belly of the Jeep, or even just dropping the Jeep on it at all, was just a little bit tight in that section. But thankfully, I did have the drone, and I did use the drone as my spotter to help me try and place my wheels just right so that I could get around it. Once you're at the bottom of the trail does open up. It does become much easier, and you get an option during this. You can either continue to go around on this trail, or there is kind of, I call it a bit of a shortcut. It does cut down a wash that does cut a bit of the climb that would take you out and around the scenic view of where you just came out, and allows you to go up the other side of the trail back towards Constellation Road and Buckhorn Road. This shortcut is actually quite scenic, but it is a wash, it is flat, and it does not challenge you whatsoever. And in fact, the rest of the trail is not really challenging. It is very much like Buckhorn Road. It just becomes nice, smooth, and easy to just cruise along.
Okay, guys, it's been a little bit since we've been going, and this has been awesome. So this is within the Wickenburg Mountains. It's like the Wickenburg Mountain Trail or something like that. It actually has a name. It'll appear right here. I don't remember, but it's been pretty fun. It was really rocky and a little technical coming down a certain spot, and it was such a nice change up from the Buckhorn Road, because that is just a graded wash the whole way for the most part. And then since we got to the bottom, there are two different ways. You could have kept going around the mountains, or there's in a sense like a little shortcut that cuts you through a wash and it pops you back onto the trail. And that's what I took, just because of time, because I'm not camping out here. I'm actually staying at my mom's, so got a bit back. But it is awesome. But right now, this is what I'm looking at. All this is someone's property. It's all private property, but you got a bunch of old abandoned buildings and an old RV. These could have been for mining or for even ranching out here, guys. Roam on the open range, but it has been so beautiful. Look at it. Has just been nice. And this is while the trail has been since we have reconnected from the little shortcut. It has just been degraded, feels great. It's not overly challenging at all. But I haven't seen one person all day. Haven't seen a soul. Love it. Absolutely, I'm loving it. And also, this blue sky. I love seeing a blue sky in Arizona, because once you're in the Phoenix Valley, it's what blue? It's friggin' East LA over there. All it is smog, pollution, and brown. It's disgusting. So it is so nice to just be able to be, in a sense, an hour outside of the city, and it is, crystal blue skies and clear mountains and just peaceful. I've been loving it. And actually, I just know way over there. I'll try and zoom it in here in a second, guys. Let's see here. Can I get it to zoom in? Yeah. You guys can see that trail. Where's my finger? Beep. Right back there. That's actually the trail we were coming down on. That's really cool. I didn't notice that until just now. It's been a fun day. Absolutely fun day. But we need to continue going, because we have about a quarter of this particular trail left. And then we have less than a quarter of the Buckhorn Road Trail till we're back on asphalt and time to head home. So
let's go have some more fun. The rest of the drive on Constellation Road is very simple, and it doesn't take long till you are back into the outskirts of civilization, this civilization being Wickenburg. And as you get closer, you'll start seeing more people out camping in the desert, and you'll be looking for that spot to pull over and start airing up your tires.
And just like that, guys, another adventure down and in the bags, and the first adventure for 2025. And it was absolutely fantastic. It was so much fun. I saw nobody the entire time I was out there. It was just, sorry, still can't breathe. It was just a great way of starting off the year, guys. I am so happy. And remember, I went Buckhorn Rd up into the Wickenburg Mountains, and then this right here is still Buckhorn Rd. So I'm gonna finish following this out because I've only got like that little bit left, and it's super flat, all the way out to the main road, and then I'm going to go back home and hang out with Lindsay for a little bit before we go have dinner. But it has been so much fun. But thank you all for joining me on this adventure. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. You guys are what makes this channel happen, and I greatly appreciate it, and it helps me out immensely. Otherwise, guys, also in the description is a link to my link tree. You'll find all sorts of links in there to products that I use on my Jeep. It's just there for your guys' convenience. So go ahead and check that out. Otherwise, I'll catch y'all next time out on the trail. Take care, guys.